Yeah. Been that dude, so they all better take heed. Got the haters going ghost like they Patrick Swayze. I've been talking real shit, y'all been talking crazy. I've been on some new shit, y'all been acting lazy. I've been it, so my words are gon' make it float. I'm like dry ice mixed with alcohol in a bowl. Or below zero winter, go and grab a coat. What else can I say? The kid is just too cold. Never told a fib, was born just too bold. Never had to fold, but did break the mold. And as the story's told, if you didn't know, I'm running up the scope. This is DMO. Can you hear me? There's some of them minds, man, they better fear me. They need glasses, they can't see it clearly. I don't chase the money, it just like to come near me. Yearly, truly, my life is a movie. Took her on a date once, now she tryna groove me. I'm really that guy, they gon' have to sue me. Then had the juice, time to mix it like a smoothie. Groovy, they asked me how I get up, I told them had to start down. Found me some real ones, now I got a crew now. Met a loyal girl, 4 years later, that's my boo wow. And now I'm out here giving new sounds like boom pow.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the Haven. Ladies and gentlemen, we do apologize for the week-long delay. Some things came up and we've been very, very, very busy as of late, but we did want to get this episode out before the Sunday games start because that is tomorrow. So guys, what we will be doing is conducting business as usual. We will be saving the Thursday night reactions for next week, and other than that, yeah, welcome into the Helmet Haven, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a little bit to cover for just a little bit of everything. So, with that said, let's hop right into the news, and I'm going to hand the ball off here to my boy Kenny here.
All right, so we're going to start off with the Cowboys officially placing Trevon Diggs on injured reserve. He'll miss the next 4 games.
That's a big piece for that Cowboys deep secondary to lose. I mean, he might be the only one that's even halfway decent.
Yeah, that's a big hit for them, especially going against Washington this coming week on Monday night. Chiefs have ruled out left tackle Josh Simmons for Monday, and Commanders are losing their guard Trey Smith, or well, he's listed as doubtful. So O-linemen on both sides being lost for that game potentially.
That is rough.
The Commanders have officially gotten back both Debo and Terry McLaurin for Monday.
Yeah, thank God. Thank God. My fantasy team's been missing Terry. I need his kind of production because Jesus Christ. Jamison Williams got me fucking 0.
Tyrod Taylor is officially out, which means Justin Fields will start against Cincinnati this week.
Oh, no. No. That is not good.
In Bears news, Bears have officially placed DB Kyler Gordon and offensive tackle Braxton Jones on injured reserve.
Absolutely no shockers. Kyler Gordon has struggled to stay healthy almost every year. Same thing with Braxton Jones. Same thing.
And the Bears dodge having to play Lamar Jackson as he is officially listed as out this week as well.
That might give us a chance to win this week. Damn.
Let's see here. Next up, we have just going through. There's a lot of the Lamar and Commanders related stuff kind of back to back there.
I don't blame you.
Browns have elevated quarterback Bailey Zappi from the practice squad and have now listed Shedeur Sanders as questionable for Sunday night Sunday due to the.
So we might get to see some Shedeur Sanders.
Nope.
Color me surprised. I never thought we'd see it this season.
Bengals Trey Hendrickson is expected to return this week against the Jets as well after missing last Thursday.
That'll be a big piece for the Cincinnati defense, especially with the game they're about to play.
In Falcons news, we're going to get the return of Kirko Chains as Kirk Cousins is expected to start against the Dolphins.
No Michael Penix then.
Yep, no Michael Penix. It's officially Kirk Cousins season, baby. Andy Dalton is also expected to get the start for Carolina against the Bills this week.
Yeah, I saw Bryce Young get hurt last week. That was pretty rough.
Let's see here. Obviously, you already know this, but Nico Collins and Christian Kirk have both been ruled out for Sunday's game against the Niners.
Yeah, which officially means that C.J. Stroud will be throwing to random Joes that they find off the streets.
49ers, however, this might be very helpful to the Houston Texans, will not have Ricky Pearsall or Brock Purdy this week.
That might be beneficial. That also might just come back to haunt us. What worries me is Kenny. Like the Niners are like, yeah, like their entire team's injured, but they keep winning games.
And somehow everyone's getting injured, but Christian McCaffrey.
Did Kyle Shanahan just put all his mana into keeping CMC healthy?
Probably. Bills have officially placed safety Taylor Rapp on IR, so he'll be out for at least 4 weeks. In Eagles news, they will be missing A.J. Brown and Cam Jurgens this coming week.
That's not good if you're a Birds fan.
Let's see here. We already went through
especially considering the way Saquon's been playing. I don't know, man. They might actually have to give Saquon the ball now.
The Buccaneers are still going to be without Chris Godwin and Bucky Irving for yet another week.
Rough go of things out there in Tampa.
Let's see here. Just going to keep scrolling because this is stuff that doesn't matter. Okay, NFL has fined the Giants $20,000, head coach Brian Daboll $100,000, and Cam Scatterbo $15,000 for violating concussion protocol when Jackson Dart was being evaluated for a concussion.
You know what? I understand it, but like at the same time, like let the bros be bros.
Yeah, I honestly think Jackson Dart's probably going to pay that fine for Cam because he's a 5th-round rookie. That's like most of his fucking pay.
Yeah, for real.
Let's see here. So we'll talk about this a little bit later, obviously, but we do get Jordan Love versus Aaron Rodgers on Sunday Night Football.
Yay.
It's a win-win for you.
Yeah,
it is. It's both a win and a loss for you because either you get to laugh at the Packers or you get to laugh at Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, either way, I get to laugh at somebody.
Yeah, like that makes me happy. Also in Bills news, Daquan Jones, Josh Palmer are also out against the Panthers, so a few more key pieces there that won't play for Buffalo. Keep on scrolling. News out of the Vikings as next week we could finally see the return of J.J. McCarthy.
Well, you know what? I think they need to because Carson Wentz is out there basically getting killed.
In other news, Joe Alt did make his return on Thursday. We'll talk more about that next week, but I'm sure you saw what I saw, and that was a big difference in the offense.
Yes, it was.
Logan Wilson of the Bengals has requested a trade after a reduced role.
Who?
Exactly. Vikings did remove Aaron Jones off injured reserve, so he was able to play this past Thursday. The Giants have signed former Falcons wide receiver Ray McLeod III to their practice squad.
Well, I mean, have you seen their wide receiver room? They kind of need them.
Commanders officially rule out Jaden Daniels for Monday Night Football, which means it's Marcus Mariota versus Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, boy.
Now, let's not forget, guys. When the Titans played the Chiefs in the playoffs with Marcus Mariota, he whooped that ass. So,
yeah, but this isn't the Titans. This is the Commanders.
Titans have placed cornerback Ladarius Sneed on IR, which means he'll miss 4 games. Which, by the way, the Titans, I believe, the week after this week, obviously, the Titans have to play the Chargers, and they're not going to have their number 1 corner. That's not going to go well for them, anyways.
I was about to say, what do you mean? That's going to be a field day for you.
Let's see here. Obviously, Buccaneers have officially placed Mike Evans on IR. He'll miss 8 weeks, which means this will be the first time in his career he will not be hitting 1,000 yards in the season.
It's saddening to know that Mike Evans will not be a 1,000-yard receiver this year. But you know what? All good things must come to an end eventually, I guess.
Yeah, it's a sad day for sports fans everywhere.
Yeah, especially if you're a fan of Mike Evans like myself. I like the dude. I think he's a great ball player.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the best in the NFL still. Just coming up on his twilight years is all. All right, shifting over to Ian Rappaport to see if he has anything that Adam Schefter didn't report on. Let's see. A lot of it's the same. By the way, I do not think we have any tank bowls this week. So.
Oh.
So that's the thing.
That's a little disappointing.
You're just like, boo.
Boo. We like bad football.
Oh, so the Brandon Graham has officially unretired and is rejoining the Eagles on a 1-year, $4.9 million contract.
Okay, then. So we do have some other news.
Yep, we do have a little bit of more news that we have to cover. Ian Rappaport obviously helped us get some of these. In Cowboys news, DeMarvion Overshone, Cooper Beebe, and Sharon Ravel are all designated to return, so a big boost there to the defense specifically of the Cowboys. And Dak getting his center back is also going to be good. Let's see here. For those that do not know, Mike Evans did suffer. The thing that put him on IR was a broken collarbone. Yeah, you can't really just ignore that type of injury. The Dolphins have signed tight end Greg Dulcich after placing Darren Waller on IR. How shitty is that organization, dude? Like, they traded a pick for that man. Players of the week, I'm just going to say the 2 offensive players are Jamar Chase and Christian McCaffrey for their respective conferences.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, well earned.
The Jets are getting linebacker Quincy Williams back from IR, so another piece returning to the Jets defense that has definitely needed that help at the last couple of weeks. I think we are almost done with news. I'm going to scroll for a little bit more and make sure. Oh, yeah, Sean Payton and Russell Wilson got into a little Twitter fight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Sean Payton apparently in his press conference threw what was thought to be shade at Russell Wilson for Jackson Dart coming in and putting a spark on that team. And Russell Wilson on Twitter responded with classless but not surprised. Didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 years later.
Damn! Oh my God!
Crazy work there, Russell. Crazy work.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, that would be fucking fighting words.
Yeah, for real. Them some scrapping words. I'm sorry. It's on site if I read that. It's
And let's talk real quick about the last bit of news I'll share, and that's the Pro Football Hall of Fame finalists for the coaching side of things. Obviously spotlighted specifically by no surprise, Bill Belichick. And I think that's about all she wrote for the news.
All right, from there, guys, we go into the injury corner. See who all got hurt this week, and there was a few of them. So
well, I kind of combined the two again there because I brought up Mike Evans and that.
I guess you kind of did. From there, we go into the 30-second timeout then, and guys, with the 30-second timeout, we are officially halfway through the college football season. So for the 30-second timeout today, we are going to be doing a recap of your top 25 in the FBS. I guess I'll handle this this window of the podcast. Guys, your number one team, to absolutely no one's surprise, the 7-0 Ohio State, 7-win streak, 3 on the road, 4 at home. The number two team, might actually come as a surprise to some people. Other people, not so much, but Indiana Hoosiers are 7-0 and ranked number 2. Number 3 is Texas A&M, also 7-0. Number 4, Alabama. They lost to Florida State to start the year and have been the absolutely destroyer of worlds since. After them, we have the number 5 Georgia Bulldogs at 6-1, and the Oregon Ducks also sitting at 6-1. In the number 7 slot, we have the 7-0 Georgia Tech. That one's actually kind of surprising. I don't think anyone was expecting Georgia Tech to be that good. In the 8, we have the 6-1 Ole Miss. They recently just lost to I think it was Alabama for their first loss. In the 9 spot, we have the 5-1 University of Miami, Florida, not Ohio. In the 10 spot, we have Vanderbilt at 6-1. Their only loss being to Alabama. In 11, we have the 7-0 BYU. In 12th, we have the 5-2 Notre Dame, who continue their win streak ever since their rocky start to the season. In 13th, we have the 6-1 Oklahoma Sooners, followed by the 14th Texas Tech Red Raiders. They're both 6-1. In the 15 and 16 spots, we have Missouri and Virginia, also both 6-1. 17, we have the Tennessee Volunteers at 5-2. 18, we have the Bulls of South Florida at 6-1. 19, we have the Louisville Cardinals, to a lot of people's surprise. In 20, we have the 5-2 LSU Tigers. 21, this one is a surprise, the Cincinnati Bearcats at 6-1. And as far as these last 4, they are all 5-2, being the 22 Texas Longhorns, the number 23 Illinois Fighting Illini, the Arizona State Sun Devils at 24, and the Michigan Wolverines at 25. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your AP FBS rankings at the halfway point of the college football season. Ladies and gentlemen, from there, we go into Draft Royalty, sponsored by DraftKings. Not really sponsored by DraftKings. Please don't sue us. Guys, this week I know Kenny and I have been kind of trading victories up to this point. This week, it was not close. Kenny kind of just clapped my cheeks. Kenny, do you want to handle it?
Yeah, I'll handle this. Also, guys, it went from back to back, kind of back and forth wins to I have now won 4 in a row. So let's see what the scores were here. I had Dak Prescott, who had 23.26. You had Drake May, who had 23.08. And I'm pretty sure that's one of the closest ones we have on here.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I have Jonathan Taylor, who had 34.2. You had J.K. Dobbins, who had 9. I had Quinson Junkins, who had 26.4. You had Cam Scatabo, who had 18.4. This is, I believe, is the only one you beat me with. I had Kendrick Bourne, who had 3.4. You had MHJ, who had 7.8. Chris Olave, 26.8 to your Justin Jefferson, 12.9. I had Taquan McMillan with 6.3. You had Roma Dunze with 5.1. That's the only other really close one here. I had Harold Fannin, who had 7.6. You had Darren Waller, who had nothing.
Yeah, big old goose egg.
I had Tyler Kraft, who had 16.8. You had Cooper Kupp, who had 3.2. And then I had the Panthers defense with 17. You had the Bears defense with 13. I ended up winning 161.76 to 92.48.
Yeah, guys, like I said, Kenny kind of just came in and clapped my cheeks this week. It was not fun. Not fun at all. From there, ladies and gentlemen, we go into the fantasy football roundup. For our separate leagues. I guess I'll go first since I lost, even though I really should have won. But all I have to say ahead, I'm gonna preface this with I hope Jahmyr Gibbs tears his fucking scrotum for what he did to my fantasy chances. Ladies and gentlemen, my quarterback, obviously, Daniel Jones with 26.22 because Joe Burrow's hurt. He had Jared Goff with 14.3. On to the running backs. This is where it gets rough. Jahmyr Gibbs, 43.8. Again, I hope you tear your fucking scrotum. Cameron Scalaboo with 18.4. Zach Charbonnet with 19.5. He had Devon Achane with 12.8. Into the wide receivers, I had Michael Pittman, who had 20.8. He had Smith and Jigba with 28.3. Into the second receiver, he had Cooper Kupp, who had 2.2. I had Jamison Williams, who had a big fat fucking 0. I fucking hate you. Sit your ass on the bench next week now that Terry's back, you bum. Wide receiver 3, he had Xavier Worthy with 7.8. I had DK Metcalf with 8. Tight ends, he had Michael Mayer with 2. I had Zach Ertz with 12.7. In the flex, he had Juwan Jennings with 7.1. I had Hunter Henry with 7.3. Yes, guys, that's how weak my fantasy roster is at the current moment, that I had to flex a fucking tight end last week because everyone is fucking hurt. Kickers, he had Cameron Little, who had none. I had Jake Elliott, who had 3. And defenses, he had the Lions with 16. I had the Buccaneers with 9. So yeah, I lost 134.34 to 124.92. Again, would have won if it wasn't for Jahmyr Gibbs, who I hope, again, tears his fucking scrotum.
All right, so now I'll go over mine. I had Patrick Mahomes, who had 26.24. He had Justin Herbert, who had 27.9. I had Rico Dowdle, who had 10.6. He had Ashton Genty, who had 4.4. I had Jordan Mason, who had 11.7. He had Cam Scatterbo, who had 18.4. I had Justin Jefferson with 12.9. He had Jacoby Myers with 0. I had Waddle with 2.5. He had Devontae Smith with 33.5, so he really closed the gap there. Harold Fanning, who had 7.6. He had Kyle Pitts, who had 13.2. I had Chris Olave, who had 26.8. He had Cooper Kupp, who had 2.2. I had Matt Gay for Washington, who had 2. He had Cameron Dicker, who had 6. And I had the Rams defense, who had 11. He had the Jags defense that had -4. And I ended up winning 111.34 to 101.4.
Well, guys, from there, I guess we'll go into the recap because I guess we never really got around to that.
Yeah, I think the recap's a good place to go here.
Yeah, so your week 7 recap, ladies and gentlemen. Kenny, we of course start off with Thursday Night Football from last week.
AKA the Unk Bowl, AKA the Icy Hot Bowl, AKA the My Bedtime's Already Past Bowl. And
the AARP Bowl.
As Cincinnati beats Pittsburgh 33-31 because Joe Flacco knew how to throw it to Jamar Chase, unlike Jake Browning.
Because Joe Flacco is elite. Also, suck it, Aaron Rodgers. You broke-ass, weak-ass grandpa. You fucking bum.
Stat leaders were Joe Flacco at 342 yards, Jalen Warren, who had 127, and then Jamar Chase, who had 161, because Jamar Chase is a fucking god. Next up, we have the LA Rams putting belt to ass against Jacksonville, 35-7. That was not even remotely close of a
Yeah,
game.
no, it really wasn't. Jacksonville been on some bullshit ever since they beat KC, and I don't know what it is, but they have not looked good since.
And we do not appreciate that, by the way. Next up, we have the Chicago Bears beating New Orleans 26-14 on the back of DeAndre Swift and the defense.
Yeah, I will talk more about this during my segment here in just a little bit later. But in the meantime, guys, just know Caleb played like dog shit.
Yep, the leaders were Spencer Rattler, DeAndre Swift, and Chris Olave for that game. We have Cleveland absolutely stomping out Miami 31-6.
Yeah, we knew Miami was bad. I don't think we expected them to be this bad.
Also, we are very sorry for you, Devon Chan. We know you're trying your best.
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel, Judkins, and D. Eskridge all lead the team, the game stat-wise. Next, we have New England beating Tennessee 31-13 in Mike Vrabel's revenge game. This was a close game at halftime, and then New England realized that, oh, wait, we're a good football team, and decided to finish blowing them out the rest of the way.
Yeah, big win for Drake May. Drake May stood up Tom Brady this past week, won up Tom Brady. So for those of you who still doubt Drake May, you're a fucking idiot.
The stat leaders for that was interesting enough. Cam Ward had more passing yards than Drake May did. Rondre Stevenson and Duke something also were the leaders. Next up, we have KC.
Well, Kenny, to be fair with Drake May, we're not talking about the yardage. We're talking about completion percentage.
Yeah. We have KC blanking the Vegas Raiders, predictably so. No surprise there. Moving on.
Yeah, absolute shutout. Nothing else to say. The Chiefs were popping bottles before the start of the fourth quarter.
Next up, we have Philly escaping Minnesota 28-22.
You know what? And again, this is another game that shouldn't have been close, but Philadelphia cannot play a full 60 minutes of football. I don't know what it is.
It's absolutely atrocious. Next up, we have Carolina at the Jets. Carolina won 13-6 as both backup quarterbacks had to play the second half of this game.
Yeah, Justin Fields, guys, we've gone over Justin Fields quite a lot on the show. Kenny and I are pretty much both on the same page. He's busted. Like, we don't know if there's a coach or a system out there that he will be fixed in or even work in at this point. He's just, again, guys, Kenny and I, we felt like Justin Fields could have been good. Is he though? No, he's just not.
So, yeah, Bryce Young, he's enjoying a little bit of a bounce back, but unfortunately did get injured that game, and as we covered, we'll miss this next week. Next up, we have what was the game of the week as the Denver escapes the Giants 33-32.
Yeah, and I would also like to mention the Broncos scored all 33 of those points in the fourth quarter after being down 19-0.
Crazy.
Guys, if that doesn't tell you this NFL season is on crack, I don't know what does.
Next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts beating the Chargers, or I should say the Indianapolis Jonathan Taylors beating the Chargers 38-24.
I mean, I told you, Ken, you guys are too injured to beat the Colts. I told you.
I don't want to hear anything about Jones. We all know Taylor carried them to that win. Shut the fuck up.
Like I said, Ken, I said it last week. You guys were way too injured to ever beat the Colts.
And I quote, if Jonathan Taylor isn't slowed down, we lose. Did I or did I not?
You did. And I also said last week, you guys were way too injured to ever beat them.
Yeah, mine was more right, though, because Jonathan Taylor being locked down would have definitely helped. Next up, we have Dallas beating Washington 44-22, belt to ass.
Yeah, Dallas laying belt to ass, though. I don't think anyone had that on their bingo card.
especially with how bad their defense is.
Yeah, for real. This was a big win for Dallas. Terrible game for Washington, though.
Next up, we have Green Bay escaping the Cardinals 27-23, which was led by Jacoby Brissett, by the way.
Guys, remember the first 2 weeks when everyone thought the Packers were elite? Yeah, me too. Y'all are a bunch of dumbasses.
All right, next up, we have San Fran beating Atlanta 20-10.
How does San Francisco keep winning games? I genuinely want to know.
Maybe they took some devil magic from the Queefs.
There is no reason a team that is that injured should still be winning games. But like I told you earlier, Ken, I think Kyle Shanahan might have just put all his skill points into keeping McCaffrey healthy.
Probably. Tampa Bay loses to Detroit 24-9. Let's be honest, Baker was basically screwed this game. He had nobody to throw to.
Yeah, it was a rough outing for the Bucs. I mean, not to mention the Lions just play a very strong and stout defense, so there was only so many ways it was going to go with Baker missing that many receivers.
And then we have Seattle beating Houston 27-19. It was essentially the nail in Houston's coffin this year.
Yeah. Also, thank God that the Monday night doubleheaders are over, because it was past midnight by the time that game finished, and it wasn't even a contest. It was terrible. It was one of the worst games I've ever stayed up to watch, but I watched it anyway.
Okay, so this week there will be no. I did double check. There are no tank bowls this week. So
yeah, from there we go to the predictions. Also, guys, we are not predicting for the Thursday night game, as that one is already in the books.
For the record, I would have been right had I been able to predict it. So going on to the games that we can predict, we have the matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Atlanta Falcons.
Falcons should win this, no problem. The Miami Dolphins just got spanked by the Browns.
You know what, Nick, we can count this as a tank bowl. We can count it.
I mean, can we though? I mean, Atlanta's beaten some strong teams.
But I believe they're also 4 or 3 and something. Hold on, let me double check that before. Yeah, we have 3-3 versus 1-6.
All right, fuck it.
But yeah, we're both going Falcons here. The Dolphins are going to get their asses clapped.
Yeah, I mean, when you're getting belt put to ass by the Browns, oh boy.
Next up, we have the Jets at Cincinnati. Cincinnati.
Are you sure we can't call this a tank bowl? This a tank bowl too?
Sure? Yeah, just because we called Atlanta and Miami a tank bowl, we can call this a tank bowl too. But yeah, it's Cincinnati.
I'm with you. Cincinnati all the way. I don't think that this is going to really go any other way.
Low-key, another Unk Bowl, if you think about it. Tyrod Taylor versus Joe Flacco.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take another icy hot bowl.
Next up, we have Cleveland at New England. This one's going to be actually pretty fun, I think. These defenses are really good.
I think so, too. However, I think the power of the New England offense is too high-powered for them to lose this game. I'm going Patriots.
I am, too. It's let's be honest, it's the Cleveland Fighting Judkins versus the New England Patriots at this point.
Basically.
New England, we do believe, does win. Drake May's been on a fucking heater.
Again, for those of you who still doubt Drake May, yeah, you're a dumbass.
Next up, we have the rematch of one of the more bigger upsets this year, as the Giants travel to Philadelphia this time to take on the Eagles.
Part of me wants to go with the Giants just for the lulz, because I think if the Giants sweep Philadelphia this year, I think that'd be hysterical.
I mean, this could be your upset of the week.
Fuck it, lock it in. This is my upset of the week. Giants go in and sweep the Eagles.
Yep, and I'm going to split it here. I think Philadelphia finds a way to win here because that's all they know how to do is find ways to win, not actually win because they suck ass. Next, we have Buffalo at Carolina.
I mean, I want to say Buffalo like as a no-brainer, but like Carolina hasn't been awful.
They are starting Andy Dalton, who hasn't looked bad either. So
I'm gonna go Buffalo. I feel like that's just the safer pick.
Buffalo, I think I'm going to go with Buffalo too. I don't think they lose 3 in a row.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Next up, we have Chicago at Baltimore. Chicago.
Yeah, I'm going Bears as well. Without Lamar Jackson, I think this is an easy win.
Yeah, no. If Lamar was playing, this would be a lot different. But he's not, and they suck.
However, I will say this, Kenny. I am kind of anticipating that King Henry is going to run all over us because our defense has not had to deal with a running back like that all season.
Yeah, I feel very bad for whatever defenders that try to get in his way too. May God have mercy on their souls, and may they not get stiff-armed in an early grave.
Yeah.
But Chicago still wins. But let's hope we don't have to prepare any graves for any unfortunate
Let's
defenders.
pray that we don't have to dig any graves because after this week, guys, the Bears could be 5-2, which that doesn't feel real.
And I do want to state, if Baltimore does lose this game, it's the end of their season, man. Like, it pretty much already is, but like this definitely puts a nail in it. Next up, we have San Fran at Houston.
You know, I want to go with the Texans because, again, San Fran's injured to hell and back, but San Francisco keeps defying logic and winning games.
I'm going to choose this as my upset. I'm going Houston here.
I'm going San Fran. For some reason, they keep winning games, and I don't think it stops here.
Yeah, I only really did it for this one because, like, the last 4 games, I just don't see upsets happening. We have Tampa Bay at New Orleans. I'm still going Tampa.
Win that, no problem.
I'm still going Tampa. I think without the wide receivers, New Orleans could keep it close, but I still think Tampa wins it by like probably a touchdown to 10 points, probably.
I can agree with that.
Next up, we have what might be a shootout here as Dallas goes against Denver.
Ooh, you know what? I don't want to count Dallas out after last week, but I also definitely don't want to count out Denver after last week. I'm gonna go Denver. I think Denver stops fucking around here and realizes, oh, we have the Dallas Cowboys this week. I'm gonna go with the Broncos.
I'm gonna go with Dallas here. I feel like if that defense can get a stop or two, and they don't shit the bed like the Giants did, I think they can beat Dallas, or that Dallas can beat them. Also, force Bo into a couple mistakes will probably help as well. Next up, we have Tennessee at Indianapolis.
Yeah, the Colts win this easy. Walkout dub, easy.
Make a max brave. Have it ready for the Tennessee Titans because Jonathan Taylor is going to completely destroy them. Next up, we have what we've already mentioned at the beginning of the show, Green Bay at Pittsburgh in the Aaron Rodgers revenge game, I guess.
I'm going Packers as much as I'm disgusted to say it. I think that their defense is better than it has looked the past couple of weeks. And I feel like Green Bay's offensive attack is just better than the Steelers, flat out.
Also, fuck Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, fuck both of them. If this could end in a tie and have both teams lose, that'd be hysterical. But I don't think it will.
I'm going Green Bay too. But Pittsburgh just got torched by, yes, Jamar Chase, but by a 40-year-old Joe Flacco. So. Jordan Love is younger and pretty good. I mean, they don't have really that many weapons, but Pittsburgh's defense has looked fucking god-awful for like 90% of the season. So I'm going to go with Green Bay as well. And finally, we have Monday night, Washington at Kansas City. Washington, I don't even have to think about this. Not Washington, KC. I don't even have to think about this.
Yeah, I was about to say, are you sure you're going Washington? I'm going KC as well. Let's just accept it now, guys. They're winning it all again, ain't they?
Though if there is a football god, I don't pray any injuries, but if you can make Patrick Mahomes play more like Alex Smith, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, for some reason, guys. Let's just face it. The Kansas City Chiefs are probably winning it all. Let's not fight it. But if you insist on fighting it, I'm afraid your best hope is the Colts.
Also, guys, this is the Alex Smith Bowl. For those of you that don't know, this is the Alex Smith Bowl. So that's fun. But that'll do it for the predictions portion of this podcast now.
All right. Well, with that out of the way, guys, we can go into the ref ball of the week, which I don't think we really have anything to cover. I just want to push the button because it's fun.
What the hell's going on out here?
So yeah, guys, no egregious ref ball this week. Despite the fact that KC, won by a ton of points, but it's the fucking Raiders. What were we expecting, a game?
Yeah, Geno Smith threw 3 interceptions. And by the way, if Geno Smith didn't exist, Tua would be getting a lot more heat than what he is. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but like we said, guys, no egregious ref ball for the week. That, of course, brings us over to the player spotlight. And this week we have a fun one. I think Kenny's going to have some fun reading about this one. As we have Jonathan Taylor in the player spotlight for this week. Kenny, the floor is yours.
Yep. Jonathan Taylor was born January 19th, 1999. He's obviously a running back for the Colts. He played high school ball at Salem High School. Ooh, spooky. Where he set a New Jersey State rushing yards record. He played 3 seasons of college football with the Wisconsin Badgers, finishing his college career as a 6th all-time rusher in the NCAA, and became the first player in FBS history to rush for more than 6,000 yards in any 3-year span. He's 5'10", 226. That's only about an inch shorter than my co-host.
Actually, that's like an inch taller than me.
Oh, wow, you're actually shorter than that. Damn.
Yeah, I'm 5'9".
He was a 2nd-round pick, 41st overall. What a fucking steal.
For real.
He's a first-team All-Pro, 2-time Pro Bowler. He's led the league in rushing in 2021 and rushing touchdowns in 2021. He's also a Burt Bell Award winner and a PFWA All-Rookie team member. That's obviously just his NFL related things, which, by the way, if he were to retire today, that's enough to be in consideration for the Hall of Fame, by the way.
Yeah. Is there any question why we need to spotlight him?
He's a 2-time Doak Walker Award winner, 2-time unanimous All-American, a 2nd-team All-American, 2-time Big Ten Running Back of the Year in 18 and 19, Big Ten Freshman of the Year in 2017, and then he's a 3-time first-team All-Big Ten, which was from 2017 to 2019. As of this past week, he has 6,710 rushing yards, 61 rushing touchdowns, 164 receptions, 1,276 yards, and 6 receiving touchdowns in his career at this point in time. He did finish in top 10 in the Heisman Trophy voting 3 times. So all 3 years he played, he was in contention for the Heisman. Was named the unanimous first-team All-American and was recipient of I read all that stuff. Early life. He was born in Salem, New Jersey. His father played basketball for San Francisco State. Taylor obviously attended Salem High School, where he amassed 4,642 rushing yards and 51 touchdowns.
In high
As
school?
in high school, and it says that's his amassed amount. Damn, that's a lot. He set the New Jersey record with 2,815 rushing yards as a senior, which had been held by former Wisconsin Badger running back Corey Clement in his senior season. Taylor amassed 234.6 yards a game, rushing for 35 touchdowns and scoring 37 total touchdowns, and was honored with the Jim Henry Award as a high school area player of the year for New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. Taylor was also an accomplished performer in track and field, as he won 2 state titles in the 100-meter dash, his best time being 10.49 seconds. 24/7 Sports rated Taylor a 3-star prospect at 24th highest among running backs in the class of 2017. He committed to play college with Rutgers University, but later changed it to University of Wisconsin, Madison on November 1st, 2016. Not going to go too much into these senior and junior and all those type of years. He did only play 3 years of college football, by the way, guys. He did not play a 4th season. So in his career, his stats went 1977 and 13 touchdowns on the ground, 2,194 yards and 16 in his sophomore year, and 2,003 yards and 21 touchdowns as a junior. And then that last year, when he was a junior, he also had 242 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns, so he combined for 26 total touchdowns in his junior season.
Insane.
Some of his other honors that we did not cover was AP Big Ten Newcomer of the Year, Pinstripe Bowl MVP, 3-time consensus first team All Big Ten, 8-time Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week, and 8-time Big Ten Freshman of the Week. Here are his records at the time when he retired when he left college ball. Most 200-yard games in a career with 12. Most rushing yards through junior seasons with 6,174. Most rushing yards through a sophomore season with 4,171. And most by a freshman with 1977. And a fewest games for a freshman to reach 1,000 rushing yards with 7. And most Big Ten Freshman of the Week awards is also a record he still holds to this day. In his professional career, he was obviously drafted by the Colts in the 2nd round, 41st overall. And by the way, another time the Cleveland Browns fucked up, they had that pick and decided to trade with the Colts, which they used that pick to get Jonathan Taylor. Cleveland can't catch a break, man.
For real, man. Imagine if Taylor was in a Browns uniform.
Yep, imagine if they had Nick Chubb and Jonathan Taylor at one time. Holy crap.
Bro.
Taylor was named the Colts' backup running back to Marlon Mack at the start of the season. Taylor made his NFL debut in Week 1 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. He had 9 rushing attempts for 22 yards, 6 receptions for 67 yards, and a 27-20 loss. The day after the game, it was revealed that Mack suffered a torn Achilles, leaving Taylor as the starting running back for the remainder of the season. He finished his freshman year, his rookie season with 232 rushing attempts, 1,169 yards, and 11 touchdowns with only 1 fumble. He finished 3rd in the league in rushing yards behind only Dalvin Cook and Derrick Henry for that season. He also won NFL Offensive Player of the Month for his performances in December. For his season, Taylor was also named the PFWA All-Rookie Team for that year. In his second season, Taylor compiled week 4 to week 11, he compiled 100-plus scrimmage yards and at least one rushing touchdown in 8 consecutive games, which tied for the longest streak in NFL history. After the season, Maxwell Football Club announced that Taylor was the winner of the 2021 Burt Bell Award. He was the runner-up for AP Offensive Player of the Year. He was ranked 5th by his fellow players in the top 100 back when that actually mattered. In his 2022 season, he finished with 861 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns through just 11 games, missing 3 games with an ankle injury. In 2023, he finished with 741 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns, along with 19 catches, 153 yards, and a touchdown through 10 games and 7 starts. So another probably injury-ish type season. Or that might have been the contract dispute he had. One of the two. In week 3, when he played the Bears in 2024, he amassed 110 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns to win 21-16. And to end the 2024 season, he had 1,431 rushing yards, 11 rushing touchdowns to go with 18 receptions, 136 yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. Taylor was again selected to the Pro Bowl, his first since 2021. And obviously, so far this season, he has amassed 100-plus rushing yards in, I think, 3 games already. His records for the NFL were most consecutive games with 100-plus rushing yards and a rushing touchdown with 8. He shares that record with Liddell Mitchell and obviously the legendary LaDainian Tomlinson. The youngest player in NFL history with at least 2,000 scrimmage yards, which in 20 scrimmage touchdowns in a single season, which was 2021. As for Colts records, he has most rushing yards in a single season, most 50-plus rushing yards in a season games-wise, most games with 170-plus rushing yards with 4, and most rushing yards in a game with 253. That was in January 3rd against Jacksonville. Most rushing touchdowns in a single season with 18. Most rushing touchdowns in a game with 4, which is tied with Joseph Adai and Eric Dickerson for the Colts. Most total touchdowns in a season with 20, which was tied with Lenny Moore. And then most total touchdowns in a single game with 5 in 2021. And then longest rushing play with 83, also back in 2021. This player spotlight's a little shorter because he actually does not have any personal notes on his thing. It's all football related. So.
Well, guys, from there we are going to start closing out the show with the personal segments, of course, starting with Kenny. So, guys, welcome to Charged Up.
Okay, so obviously not the funnest game this past week. We obviously let Jonathan Taylor beat us. Shut the fuck up, Tame. I'm not giving Daniel Jones any fucking credit for this.
Better put some respect on that man's name.
That Colts defense was as good as they have been the last couple of for most of the season, actually. A few things to talk about as Gadsden, our 5th-round rookie, had a very good game. Vlad McConkey started to get hot now, as we know from the last couple of games. He's been starting to find it again. Jaime Vidal didn't do well against the Colts, but that's also to be expected when you have to pass most of the game. Some important news, obviously, was Joe Alt coming back for the Thursday night game. We did get Khalil Mack and Denzel Perriman, though they were on a snap count, so they really didn't get to impact the game much against the Colts. And I don't think that Quentin Johnston played against the Colts either, which obviously, if this was last year, I would have said that didn't matter. But this year, Johnston, as we know, and Tame knows as much as I do, hasn't really been dropping many passes this year.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Obviously, that loss did knock us out of first place in the AFC West. However, there's a chance that we get it back this coming week, depending on how the other games fall. And so far, I told you before we went live, Justin Herbert actually had 420 rushing yards. 420 blazing, as my co-host here knows oh too well. He had 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He had 1 tipped at the line, which seems to be like half of his interceptions this year have been tipped at the line of scrimmage at this point. Curse you, backup linemen that suck ass. I sent you a picture from yesterday where he blocked a basketball from hitting Madison Beer, and that's Bradley Bozeman's fault. He should have blocked that too, but he can't because he sucks. And finally, Cameron Dicker kept doing his thing. The Chargers tried to battle back in that game. Unfortunately, it was too little too late. A few late drops kind of cost them a potential comeback. They probably still would have lost by 7 even without that drop, but that would have still been nice for the stats. And again, Colts are proving to be a pretty damn good team. They've only lost to the Rams. And they do have a very easy test here this next week against the Titans, which, let's be honest, they're probably going to win that game. And I think that all but locks down the AFC South unless Jacksonville gets their head out of their ass.
Yeah, it very easily could. It very easily could. Anything else?
That's it for my segment. I'm going to let you start your tearing new asshole of Caleb Williams.
Yeah, guys, welcome to Bear Down More. Guys, so we're coming off a big win against the Saints, guys. The Bears are 4-2. 4-2. It doesn't feel real. We have won 4 straight games. This last one was kind of a gimme. Granted, off the back of Manungai and DeAndre Swift, who finally learned how to play football. Caleb Williams. What was that? Like, bro, I genuinely want to know how this kid still has, like, an avid fan base that likes to suck his dick. Because what was that? I think he only had like 174 yards. I know he had 0 touchdowns. So very, very, very poor performance from our franchise quarterback. I put franchise in air quotes because Caleb Williams gives me Kyler Murray vibes. Is Kyler Murray a franchise quarterback? No. So stop pretending Caleb Williams is.
By the way, but also I forgot to give credit to Jake Moody, too. He deserves sloppy toppy.
Yeah, for real, guys, Jake Moody deserves some sloppy from a Chicago baddie. Like, straight up. Well, I guess Chicago baddies are all kind of prostitutes, so, like, someone pay for that man to get a prostitute, like a halfway decent prostitute. Because if you live in the city of Chicago and you're a baddie, there is approximately a 100% chance that you're either a stripper or a hooker. So, I'm joking, of course, to all my Chicago baddies out there. But, yeah, guys, Jake Moody, big game for him. The running backs, obviously, helping us win this one. And the defense continues to play absolutely fucking lights out. I love this defense. I love it so much. Ever since the week 2 ass whooping, they seem to have gotten their shit together. But like I said, Caleb Williams, stop pretending this kid's a franchise quarterback. What we saw against that is what Caleb Williams is. Guys, that's what Caleb Williams is. This is what we saw this past week, because that was the worst ranked pass defense in the NFL. And he looked like dog crap. I don't want to hear it about, oh, well, he's only got so-and-so interceptions. I don't give a fuck. When really the only balls you're completing are, 5-yard checkdowns, you're not going to throw that many interceptions. You guys are, guys, like I said, it just hurts me to see that this guy has so many fanboys when, like I said, it's weird coming from me, I know, because I was so big on Justin Fields for so long. Before I finally just accepted, you know what? He's shit. He's shit. But, like, guys, what I've seen from Caleb Williams, like, are we for real? Are we for real? We gotta pretend like this kid is, like, a franchise QB? Where if that's what a franchise QB is in the NFL, guys, we're fucking screwed. Also, suck it to all you Caleb fanboys. He is no longer on pace to be our first 4,000-yard passer. Again, I will talk to you guys in about 2 seasons when he's traded for a 5th-round pick. From there, guys, we will go to the main course of the show. Everybody, welcome to Fuck Up of the Week.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
And, guys, this week I get to give it to Penn State. Solely to Penn State. After that ass whooping that they just received. Well, I guess it wasn't really an ass whooping. They lost by 1. But you lost to fucking Iowa, bro. Fucking Iowa. 3 weeks ago, you guys were the number 7 team in the nation, and now you guys are out here losing to UCLA, Northwestern, and Iowa. The skid continues for Penn State, and I love it as an Ohio State fan. Suck it, Nittany Lions. You guys get fuck up of the week, and you guys get sole possession of fuck up of the week this week. You fucking losers. Kenny, anything you'd like to say on that matter?
Penn State is a perfect college that represents Caleb Williams. Does good for a little bit and then looks like ass the other percentage of the time. But yeah, Penn State got absolutely obliterated for about 3 weeks in a row now. They've lost, and I don't have any feelings towards them one way or another. They did lose to UCLA, which was nice. And yeah, that's all I have to say about our Fuck Up of the Week.
Well, guys, that does it for this week's episode of the Helmet Haven. And, Kenny, we're barely scraping over an hour. Like, literally, we're at an hour 1. So, we made excellent time this week.
Yep. As we said last week, hopefully we can boot up on Wednesday this next week.
We're praying so, guys. We've obviously had a very, very, very busy schedule. The both of us as of late. Myself especially, but hopefully we will be back to our normal schedule very soon. Excuse me. Any closing thoughts, Ken, before we get out of here?
Just as usual, thank you for all the supports and all the haters keep screaming the void because we don't care.
Yeah. You guys, you heard it from Kenny. He said it best. To all the supporters, thank you. We appreciate to everyone that tunes into these lives every week, and even those of you that watch it back on YouTube every week. We appreciate your support from no matter what platform you are watching. And against the haters, suck it. Continue screaming into the void. We will see you guys next week after another wonderful week of the NFL action. This has been the Helmet Haven Football Fuck Up Show. See you guys next week.
Never told a fib, was born just too bold. Never had to fold, but did break the mold. And as the story's told, if you didn't know, I'm running up the scope. This is DMO. Can you hear me? There's some of Ben minds, man, they better fear me. They need glasses, they can't see it clearly. I don't chase the money, it just like to come near me. Yearly, truly, my life is a movie. Took her on a date once, now she tryna groove me. I'm really that guy, they gon' have to sue me. Then had the juice, time to mix it like a smoothie. Groovy, they asked me how I get up, I told them had to start down. Found me some real ones, now I got a crew now. Met a loyal girl 4 years later, that's my boo wow. And now I'm out here giving new sounds like boom pow.